Come on. There we go. Let's plan out this science. So I want, this is very resource hungry, so I do want to max out productivity on this. As is, I want about, you want, hold on. Where's my, there it is. So this one, right up to here. Okay, we're producing approximately just under 3. So let's aim for that, just under 3. Hold on. It will be helpful if I have some power to work with. For this planning step. Okay. Just to make this easier. Now, let's assume we do this. And we did this. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Uh-huh. Take 3 sets of these. Okay. Let's throw in sets both. Yes. That's pretty close to the other one, so that's 2.91 for 2 sets. Oh wait, there was a way I could, hold on. Yes, 2.941. That's pretty close. We'll work with that. Okay. Okay, so now that means we need approximately, hold on, just to make this easier on me. Okay. We need approximately 1.6 sulfuric acid. Okay. No, processing units. That's the wrong thing. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Okay. Let's assume we have 2 of these. Affected by 1 beacon as it is. Oh, hold on. Just to make sure that this is consistent. There we go. Okay. We still need more. Okay. Let's cut you out and move you over here for a moment. We need more buildings of that. Okay. That makes sense. You're short by about... Okay. Do I want to save or do productivity at this point? You also take out quite a bit of copper, so maybe saving is the right choice here. Oh, man. Okay, let's go with 3 of these. And 1 of those. see what we're looking at now. Right now we will assume that. Okay, looks like we need about 2 more. Okay, and like that, we have a slight surplus. Very slight surplus, and that's good. Okay. You also need flying robot frames. Just a second. Let me... Okay. How many do you need? We need to hit 0.8. Okay. Get it outside of the beacon range. Like that, it is not enough. Okay. Now you use steel, batteries, circuits, electric engine units. So let's consider very slightly under. I want a slight surplus, if anything. Let's see. Battery. This definitely uses copper. Let's take a look. Battery. Not much copper. There's copper there. And the other thing it needed was... Well, of course, this is itself. Yeah, so it doesn't take much copper, does it? Yeah, just 4.5. Let's add 1 to each. See what that does. Slight surplus. Excellent. Now we can just take this. Okay. 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 Now the next thing this needs is the Nightmare of 2.3. Okay. And I think... Pretty sure this is more effective. 20 copper plates, and that is... Yeah, that's a 20 copper ore. And produces... Yeah, produces 1 of these. 5 plastic. Plastic is going to be the same. Okay, so let's take a look at how much it takes to get 250 molten copper. Takes 50 ore to get 500 molten copper. Okay, yeah. I'm pretty certain that is going to be more effective. Because that right there is 4.2. You're outside, right? Yes, okay. Now we're going to get productivity from, which is going to take it up to 70%. Should I wait for that before I do my math? It's going to be 10 minutes. We'll just assume with whatever math we currently have. I can get 24 right now. Maybe. Let's add a speed module first. Let's consider 2 speed modules. Okay, that's enough. That's enough there. Okay, perfect. So that is what feeds that. So let's start going down the line. Let's start with this one. We need copper and iron. Iron is either here, here, or here. So we will have to train in iron. It's a bit far. Speaking of space, we got enough at the moment. Solar panels, steam engines. Beacons do take up a lot of power, it looks like. So let's place down some more. You. Big ol'. Let's go here. Okay. So keep it outside. You want this. And we need to either use beacons or just modules. That's a lot of, okay. Not quite. Not quite. Let's just start there. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, we can save some power like that. Okay, now we need the copper. So like this. Okay. Let's assume this. Oh, that's a lot of copper. Actually, hold on. Still really good surplus. Okay, hold on. Not anymore. Okay, so we need at least this much, I guess. Or I could drop down. Yeah, let's drop down. Not enough. It is this or nothing, it looks like. Okay. And that uses 26 ore a second. Using all of this for yellow. So, okay. That means that, that, okay. Yep. But I think the last thing I need here is plastic production. Okay. The only way I can make plastic right now is chem or cryogenic plant. Got it. And I don't have the cryogenic plant yet. How is coal? Coal is, it looks like a slight issue. Oil is not an issue. Where's coal? Long-term coal won't be an issue. Okay. But I also just need enough to supply this. Let's assume this. That is way more plastic than I need. It's great. Still more plastic by 2. Okay, not enough plastic now. Okay. But that helps. That helps a lot because now I can do this. Okay. Now that's all of that resource done. Yeah, we're going to have a surplus of copper, surplus of molten iron, and a surplus of plastic. Great. We'll be able to save on some beacons and formatting here. Ugh. Ugh. Is there any other research I want before this? Mining productivity? That's 6,000. It is cheaper. We'll go like this for now. Okay. So, actually, I just thought of something I could do. One moment. Can I get beacons around this somehow? You. Not really. Yeah, not really. I could put it on the ends. Or I could replace... like every other one with a... No. I'm not redesigning anything right now for that. So, we need coal, which we can bring in, and petroleum gas. Which means we need to make an oil refinery. So right off the bat, you need how much petroleum? 88. Hold on. $134 gas a second. And this takes an input of, let me take a look around here. What does this take an input of? Coal? Yep, that's coal. Water, crude. Coal, water, and crude oil. Alright. I guess I already have one set up here. So if I halved this, I would have 130... Well, hold on. Yeah, so we have that. Yeah, So we don't have to worry about that. Okay, that covers all of that. That covers all of that. Alright. These nightmares. Let's do these together, because I have a feeling sulfuric acid, batteries also need sulfuric acid. Hold on. That's going to need lube. That's going to need sulfuric acid. Lube. Okay. Let's start going backwards. Batteries and electric engines. Okay. One of these is made in this. Batteries. And electric engines. We need 1.26. We don't need to worry about that, so let's do this at the moment. Okay. Okay. So that should be enough batteries. No. That is not enough batteries. Six. I can't read the right number. Okay. We're gonna need at least 3 units here. Okay. Now you, I think, I want to max out your productivity. Because engines are a nightmare. So we need approximately 8 at the moment. Okay. Let's assume that at the moment. You would just need 1 more. What if I take you off and add you? You need 2 more. I can work with 2 more. Covers all of them? Yep. Great, I can work with that. Okay, so now I know how much oil product I'll need. I'll need lubricant. and sulfuric acid. Let's put you over there. I need approximately 11 units, and I need 45 units of sulfuric acid. Good. Let's start with the lube. So I want to look at one of these. How much excess heavy oil do you make as is? None. Wow. Okay. We'll have to deal with that. Okay, that answers that question. So we're going to have to work backwards here. We're going to need you and you. So we need you to make lube. You by yourself produce at least 10. We also want you to make sulfuric acid, which requires sulfur, which requires... Okay, hold on. So that will produce enough sulfur. Do I also make sulfur this way? Yes. Or 2. Okay. You also max out. Ooh. 41.2. Okay, let's assume each of these are affected by one. You now need 11. And you produce way too much sulfuric acid. Okay. So if you run at... You produce way too much lube, but you produce enough. Okay. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's just take a look at this real quick. We need more. Okay, now I see why I was trying to do this. Just a single beacon. 17.1. 85.5. 3.5. Okay, hold on a second. We do want to save on the petroleum. So right now, we're looking at this upper portion. We need slightly more of each of these. Okay. Oops. Like this, I need 1/3 of I need 1/3 of a sulfur manufacturer. It's still not producing enough. Now it's producing enough. Okay, at least this is more justified now. Okay, so now we need to see how much petroleum and heavy oil we need. So this needs 13. Heavy oil. We also need 168 water. But that shouldn't be a concern. But I'll mark it just in case. And we need 78 petroleum gas. Okay, now over here, how much petroleum gas was this using? 88. Okay. 88 plus 78. Yes. Equals 166. All right. So we're producing, we need, where's that calculator? 166. Okay. This should produce 134. Okay, so we're 134, which means we need 32 remaining. Yeah, that's 32. Okay. So we need 32 more units of petroleum gas. I don't think, oh. Almost. It's not bad. 36. Straight from crude. And since this is the output petroleum gas. Yeah, this outputs petroleum gas. And that's basically what I need. I don't need, oh wait. I need some heavy oil. How do I get heavy oil again? Got it. So I have to do at least, this requires heavy oil to get started. Okay. So let's start with this. So we need to hit at least 13. Let's start with making sure we get enough heavy oil. So let's just throw this in there. 12.5. So close. So close. Yep. I think the biggest issue is what do I do with light oil in this case? Well, first of all, first thing I can do is, let's see if that's enough if I take that off. No, we need at least one more in here. Okay. And let's add productivity. Okay. I think we can take one productivity off and add another speed. No. Yeah, I think it's just better. Okay, so that matches up now. Correct? Okay. Is that discrepancy going to be an issue? It's 14.5. No. Do I even need speed in this? Hold on. Yes, I need one of the speeds in here. Yep, okay. Okay, let's just double check. From here to here. Yep, we're missing... Yeah, we're missing petroleum at the moment, so... Lube is a slight surplus like this. Heavy oil is a slight surplus like this. Okay. This is... Yeah, so we do want to make... The light oil is easier to deal with, I think. That just dumps out more heavy oil. It turned into some solid fuel. Don't have to worry about that. But yeah, turning it into light oil. Yeah, rocket fuel, solid fuel, more gas. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Turn that off for a moment. So we need to produce at least 32 gas. I think that's the hard part right here. So like this, we only need at least 11. We need at least one of the speed modules. Can I? Where is it? There. Let's see if that's enough. Because I'm going to have to crack whatever remains, and I'm going to get more as a result. So if I can reduce heavy oil consumption as much as possible, then that would be good for me. So this is as close as I'm going to get this. Okay. So you get those. Okay. Do I have that? Oh, is that it? Yes, it is. 11.1. Okay, that's close enough to where I want to double check this. Slight surplus. Excellent. So that's 10 units of heavy oil. Let's take this off real quick. Okay, so we need some speed for that. Okay. A little bit more speed. Okay. Okay. Now it's time to do some cracking here. So we're going to have a very slight positive on the heavy oil. So we shouldn't consider the heavy oil in this equation. So let's crack so that's a slight deficit. But it does, hold on, just this right here at the moment. Slight deficit produces 41. Okay. Technically you only need, well, I need to use up the light oil somehow to keep producing gas. Okay. And then we have a fraction of heavy oil left. Yes. So we can crack the remainder with this. Max out potential. This won't be running all the time. Okay. Yeah, because this won't run all the time. Okay. And then there's the nightmare. So it is missing some heavy oil, but that should be fine. It's only going to run if we'll have to set up some for that. So what's the next thing that we can make that we're missing? Plates, copper plates, circuits. Okay. So this produces all the chemical stuff we need. Circuits. Okay. Let's keep working backwards from here. So you need plates. Work on this side. Okay. So we need approximately at the moment, the next complex thing going down is going to be, oh my goodness, that is a lot of green circuits. Let's set up engine units. According to this, we need 4 of them. Let's consider this and this with, oh that's right, I got the atomic bomb now. Too heavy for a rocket. Oh, okay. Vulcanus, you're gonna make me. Alright. That's a future problem. So, we wanted to make regular engines. And that's directly for this. So let's see. Not enough. Needs a little more speed, or I don't think I'm worried. Well, I'm a little worried. Anything I can do to have to not get resources more frequently. I need 1 point. Okay. That's a very slight surplus. Let's see how that works out. A little smaller. I don't think I want to go any less, so oh, you come out. Now let's check this just to make sure that's still good. Yep, still good. Okay. Next most complicated thing to make. Should I just... I'm going to plop it down just so it's easier to keep track of. Oh my goodness. Let's just put you down right here for now. Just so my math makes sense. Alright, we'll wait a moment. I believe the next complicated thing is going to be advanced circuits. Yeah, I think it's the advanced circuits. Everything locking down with its modules and everything? I think so. Okay. So we are from here to here. What's messing with my... You're messing with my... Okay. Yep, I think that's about right. So, next complicated thing will be the advanced circuits that we need 4 of to supply. Okay. Okay. We need more than that. No, we have 4 buildings demanding it, or 4 buildings producing it. Yes, okay. Now, let's have you maximize, because you're the one demanding. Okay. That's going to be a lot of machines. Okay. I wonder if it's that simple right now. Not quite. Not quite. That was closer. All right. Acceptable. Okay. God damn, that's a lot of power. We're gonna need more plastic. Okay. That's good to know. Right now we're looking at approximately 120 megawatts. We might want some more power. Okay. So we need some more plastic. How much more plastic do we need? We need, at this point, one more building. Okay. Now we need 34 more gas. Is that enough? We need one more point. Okay. Just as a heads up, because I gotta make lunch soon. Stand right here. Okay, hopefully I look at that. So, next complicated thing is steel. Right? Yeah, steel. Steel will work with steel. So steel, we need at least 2. We need at least 1 gear. That's real easy. 2 pipes. Ten copper wire. Uh-huh. Okay. That's all the complicated stuff? Okay. That's not a raw resource. Correct. Okay. Let's make sure this. I sure hope I'd notice this. Alright. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye.